Hello, I'm Noah Armbruster.
And I'm Elijah March, and this is SSI News On Location. The feats of strength occurred on Tuesday.
Jack Menega has the story.
The feats of strength took place in the Doty Center this week and seemed to be a rousing success. I got to interview a few students on their opinions of the games.
The feats of strength went quite well. It was a lot of fun, and I think all the teams did pretty well, although we got second, so we did pretty good.
It went pretty well. I mean, it was a little bummer since there was rain, and so we couldn't be outside, but went very well.
I think it went well. It wasn't quite what I expected, but overall, I think the whole entire experience was fun, and they did a good job assembling the whole thing.
So I think I personally preferred this one a lot more than last year's.
My favorite event was definitely the obstacle course. I like doing the laser and jumping over the lasers and all that.
I'd have to say the obstacle course or the super secret banana relay, whatever.
As you can see, the students had a great time. I'm Jack Menega, reporting for SSI News On Location.
The talent show was hosted in the chapel yesterday.
And the traffic light looked at it and said, "Don't look, I'm changing."
I enjoyed it very much. It was really cool.
This is Josiah's sister? Why is she British?
You get to talk in that accent.
It went very well. It was enjoyable and very funny.
Why is my reflection someone I don't know?
I've always been singing, but I started taking singing lessons 2 years ago.
I've been playing piano since I was 5, so 10 years.
Considering how nervous we were, it went pretty well.
On Wednesday, I got an exclusive interview with Lieutenant Governor Brian Calley. How are you able to balance your job and your family and also your personal endeavors like training to run the Boston Marathon?
It really takes an intentional effort to establish priorities and to establish them ahead of time. A job like this really can take over your whole life if you let it. And so I've found that it really makes sense to discuss with your family what is a reasonable amount of time, and then as you establish your schedule to stay within the boundaries that you agree to with your family. And so it's really over the course of the last few years, especially, I feel like I've really been able to get that part of it just right to make sure I'm fulfilling all of my obligations, both at work and at home. Constitutionally, the job of Lieutenant Governor is to preside as President of the Senate. And that means just kind of running the floor agenda each day that the Senate is in session. There's only one instance where the Lieutenant Governor votes, and that is when there's a tie in the chamber. It's a fairly rare occurrence. It happens usually a few times a year. Beyond that, constitutionally, it is to act as governor when the governor is out of the state. Aside from that, it's just whatever the governor assigns. It's a position that's just one of the other senior management positions within the governor's office, and so the governor will delegate certain responsibilities or issue areas to the lieutenant governor to handle. So for me, it's been tax policy management has been a big part of it, along with mental health policy, access issues, and developmental disabilities. Really been a pleasure over the course of all of my time in public policy to be closely aligned with and to be active with SSI. In order for the government to work as well as it possibly can, we just need more people engaged, more people watching. It's like anything else. When there's close attention to something, it'll perform better. The people that are involved in it will do better when there's more transparency, more people paying attention, more people involved, and so that's what I really like about this, is that it's a training not just for people that might have an interest someday in getting into that line of work, but it's also an encouragement to be an active and engaged citizen, and that's a big benefit for society at large.
Representatives, congratulations on your speeches. You made it.
And good job, Senators, on your amendments. All your hard work paid off.
The campaign teams have been working very hard over the course of this week.
Well, hello everyone, and we would just like to say thank you so much for all the support that you gave Brian, Ashley, and the Elm Party this weekend. We really just appreciate it, and in the future, Brian Ashley is looking to continue serving the state with his law degree as he has in the past, and look out, you might be on the ballot next time.
Dr. Hollett has received news that he will not be being the governor of Michigan, and he has stated that the 9 million citizens of Michigan will not be joining the benefits of gun regulations, so he says to watch your back at all times.
First off, our candidate Holden Richards wants to thank his opponents for running so graciously against them. He also wants to thank everyone who voted for him, and not only that, but people who also donated too. There's a very long list, and unfortunately, we don't have the names memorized. We are very grateful for this opportunity. He is thankful to both the state of Michigan and to God for this opportunity.
On Tuesday, NASA space probe New Horizons went by Pluto. It took pictures and collected data which will be transmitted back to Earth over the course of the next 16 months.
We have Colton Wesley here to tell us more about Pluto.
When was the probe launched?
NASA launched the New Horizons space probe in about January of 2006. It's been en route through the solar system. It passed Pluto on Tuesday, so about 3 billion miles have been covered in the last 9 years.
Amazing. What is the approximate speed of this probe?
At launch, it was the fastest launch in NASA's history, approaching about 58,000 miles an hour when it left the atmosphere. It's since slowed down some, but it's still moving at a pretty good clip, about 30,000 miles an hour, about 10 times faster than a speeding bullet.
And what have we learned from this probe?
We have learned a lot from this probe so far, and we're going to learn a lot over the next 16 months as new data continue to reach us. New Horizons took about 1,200 pictures of Pluto, including a lot of broad shots, including the famous one, which you're probably seeing behind us right now. The first shot, the best shot we've ever gotten of Pluto, as well as a lot of up-close topographical shots. We're seeing rivers, we're seeing ravines, we're seeing mountains, we're seeing canyons, lots of detail that we've never seen beyond a handful of pixels before on Pluto, and it's really, really exciting.
Did we know anything about Pluto?
We really didn't know much about Pluto. Initially, our best images before this mission was launched came from the Hubble Space Telescope. They were a handful of pixels long. We got some idea about Pluto's size and general shape, but that's really all we knew. We didn't know what the surface was composed of. We didn't know if it had any sort of legitimate atmosphere. And now with this probe, with this flyby, we're now collecting all kinds of data that's going to answer all those questions for us, and then some.
Pluto's been something that Colton has been very passionate about. But that's all for now. This has been an SSI News On Location. I'm Elijah March.
And I'm Noah Armbruster. Hope to see you guys next year, and have a good night.